Hey guys, so I completed your reading, but I forgot I wanted to do like the little bonus reading like I did before. This time I'm not going to shuffle. I'm going to do it for earth signs because last week, the weekend before, you guys really pushed the earth sign weekend videos more above the number that it normally gets. So I was like really grateful for that. So this is kind of like a little bonus message for earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's see what your bonus quick message is. And you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Tower, the Two of Wands, overall energy, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Hermit. So it looks like you are going to find something you've been looking for. You might find several things you've been looking for. You might find opportunity in love. You could find a creative opportunity. You could find a financial opportunity. But I feel like you've been kind of introverted and just like learning and really going within. And maybe you realize that you were being illuminated, maybe not, but it does look like you've been evolving on your path and becoming more and more wise. And I kind of feel too like even though you've been kind of introverted or on your own personal search, you kind of stumble onto these opportunities just by trying to understand yourself. So I feel like the universe is handing these things to you. It's like you want love, here you go. You want to do something creative that you're passionate about, here you go. You want something financial, here you go. And it seems like anything that you stumble on was destined for you to find. I kind of feel like if it's a love situation, you definitely are connecting with a soulmate, or maybe it's just a really good friend. You stumble onto someone that you can trust. It's past life related. If it's like career, like you were looking for a job or stumble onto a job, I feel like it's something that you're very familiar with. Maybe you've done it before earlier in your life. Maybe it's something that you said you wanted to do in childhood, but like let it go. Or maybe it's something dealing with a past life situation. And so it's just familiar to you because this is what you used to do in another life. So yeah, I kind of feel like something is almost like being returned to you in a sense as well. And then too, if you did like lose something, literally, and you've been looking for it, I feel like this is a strong indication that you're going to find it. It also looks like there could be something significant in regards to an earth sign. Maybe an earth sign is going to suddenly reappear in your life, or you hear from this person, or maybe you're going to have some sort of realization about who this earth sign is to, not earth sign, fire sign is to you. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I do have Virgo out though, and Scorpio, so that may also be something significant. I also feel like suddenly you might discover that there's something that you want to do, and maybe you feel very motivated to go pursue whatever this is. And it seems like you also have some sort of a vision, and you become very passionate when it comes to, you know, pursuing whatever this is. Yeah, I kind of feel like you're just optimistic from a spiritual standpoint. You might have some sort of vision or premonition, and it actually may come to fruition. But I feel like there are some exciting things happening for you. So get ready, earth signs. All right.
Disclaimer, my readings are not for the faint of heart. Must have thick skin.
Hey you guys, it's that time. Pick a story where in one of the decks or all of the decks could be a story or a message for you. But for the first deck, we have a message for love. So for those of you that have any concerns in regards to your love life, whether you're single and looking or just having complicated situations in your love life, this is the deck for you, number one. All right. Or could your story or message be here in deck number two? And this is for those of you that have financial concerns or career concerns here in deck number two. Or could your story and message be here in deck number three, which is dealing with open messages? Any open messages from spirit, things that may be weighing heavily on your subconscious. This is the deck for you. All right, so I hope you have made your selection. And we're going to go ahead and begin with deck number one, love. Okay, you have the Three of Wands, the King of Coins, the Lovers, the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Cups. Overall energy, we have the Princess of Cups, Justice, and the Three of Cups. All right, so I feel that, you know, overall, you're having to trust your intuition when it comes to making some sort of decisions in love. And I feel like if you're dating or having a situation that is maybe complicated, you're likely just kind of trying to weigh your options. It seems like you are trying to balance your heart versus your mind. Maybe you're trying to figure out, you know, should you go with what's practical or should you go with, you know, something emotional, like if you want passion. Like sometimes you have to figure out like what's most important to you. Practicality, stability, or just fun and passion. And maybe that is something that you need to figure out that you want. And yeah, definitely seems like you're going back and forth. And maybe you're comparing people that you're dealing with. Maybe you're comparing this person's qualities against another person's qualities. So I feel like you are really trying to narrow down some sort of decision when it comes to your love life. Now, it also could be that you are someone that, you know, somebody is dealing with you and another person, and maybe this person is torn and they're comparing you with another person. Or if it's not another person, let's say this person's family is a big deal to them and they're kind of basing their decision off of their family's opinions plus what they feel. So either way, it seems like there is some sort of comparison going on when it comes to your love life. If you are supposed to be in a committed relationship, there are still some things going on between you and your partner where maybe you're trying to figure out, should you go or should you stay? Or maybe something's going on where you're trying to make a decision as a couple. Maybe you guys are trying to decide on whether or not you're going to move together or not, or relocate. Or maybe you're trying to decide something in regards to finances as a couple. But I really feel like this is more so one of those situations where you're kind of torn between people. And yeah, even if you are in a committed relationship, there could be something that has happened where, you know, you're torn between two people. It could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, maybe Gemini, and maybe Libra. But ultimately, it seems that, you know, somebody is going to have to walk away, or somebody's going to be sad. You also might decide in your heart that you just don't want to be with anyone. Maybe you rather walk alone. Maybe you don't like your options at all, or you come to the conclusion that none of the options that you have are fulfilling. So you're like, you know what? Why am I even entertaining this or wasting my time? Let me just let both parties go, and I'll just wait until the right person comes along. And it does seem that, in a sense, you're optimistic about your future. Maybe you feel that there is someone out there. Maybe you can feel it, but it just hasn't happened yet. Or maybe it's someone specific that you're waiting for. But it does seem like, you know, you're just trying to keep an open mind when it comes to your love life. I feel like nothing's like really etched in stone for you. Now, there also could be someone who is waiting to hear from you. I feel like there could be someone who wants to communicate with you. Maybe this person is also at a distance, and it seems like this person is wanting to connect with you. Now, there could be more of an unrequited energy happening. Yeah. I feel like somebody that just does not feel a connection like the other person. You could also have a conversation with someone and just feel like this is so surface, like there's nothing here. I need depth. And if you don't have the depth that you're looking for in conversations and connections, then, like I said, you just rather walk away. And maybe there is something happening where, you know, you might feel like there's a loss of faith happening. You're like, I don't know. I just kind of give up. I'm not feeling it. I'm not finding what I need to have. Or maybe you're in a relationship that is just unsatisfactory. And even if you're staying in it, or you choose to stay in it out of obligation, emotionally, it just seems like, you know, you're going through it. And, you know, you're just maybe feeling like an empty vessel. Going back to someone maybe at a distance, I do kind of feel like there is someone who is longing. Someone is longing for you or wanting to connect with you. And I still kind of feel like maybe someone has made the effort, but if you're not interested, then this person is starting to lose hope. There is also the possibility that as soon as you decide that you're going to walk away from a connection, you know, someone else pops up. A new romantic connection might pop up. I feel like people are also just kind of like expressing how they feel emotionally. They're like talking about the things that they need. People might actually be more vulnerable than normal. So I feel like someone does want to make a decision, but they're confused, or they are keeping their distance until they're able to make an emotionally sound decision. Yeah. Definitely looking like somebody may be in a situation where they're torn and is holding on to something just out of obligation. It's like, I don't really want this, but I'm holding on for safety maybe. But it also seems like because something is lacking in a relationship, someone has been daydreaming or fantasizing about the possibilities with another person. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like somebody is confused. If you were talking to someone and they seem to be giving you mixed signals, I feel like it's because that person's confused. If that person was like, if you're saying to yourself, well, no, they told me they weren't talking to anybody else. Someone must have reached out to them. Someone kind of like intervened or intercepted the connection that you had with them. And now this person is a little torn. Maybe they didn't know they would be affected by that. And maybe at the time they told you that they weren't talking to anyone else. They weren't. But now, since then, someone has intervened. I kind of feel too like maybe someone is troubled, like they're confused or troubled about their sexuality, or they know what they are or what they want, but there's a fear of being judged. There's a possibility that someone is bisexual and does not know how to be open about that. And there is a possibility that there have been two men, or like somebody's man is just kind of like confused about what they want, or there's somebody else and they're having these feelings about another guy. So that's a possibility, not for everybody. But I feel like if you were suspicious of this, if you already kind of felt something kind of off like that, then your suspicions may be confirmed. In fact, there could be, if you keep wondering why you can't get close to somebody, or why it seems like this person won't let you fully inside, is likely because of that secret that they're keeping. So I'm also interpreting secrets as like a secret admirer for somebody. This person could be at your job, and I kind of feel like this is someone that they work with you, but maybe they want to keep it professional. It also could be that this person is slowly developing feelings for you, like the more they see you. Maybe they're also trying to give subtle hints about how they feel about you. If you've been holding a grudge against someone, maybe something's happening where you don't want to have that grudge. Like maybe you're finding that it's taking more energy to hold on to that grudge than to just like release it. It also could be that you are unaware that someone has been holding a grudge against you, especially if they're an earth sign. I feel like you've also been praying for a certain type of person, and you're just waiting for that person to come into your life. But it's like in the meantime, you're not really thrilled about the current options that you do have. Now, there is a possibility that someone is either trying to block you from having love because they want you to wait for them, or someone is trying to put some sort of energy towards you to make you like them or acknowledge them at least. Yeah. Definitely could be an ex that is blocking you from finding love, or they're doing things of that nature. But I also kind of feel like even if you feel like you're being blocked by somebody because they're doing something, I still feel that when a time is right, if it's truly meant to be, then nothing can stop that. Like the karmas of your birth chart have to play out. So if it is your karma to connect with somebody and have a relationship with that person, then it's going to happen. Now, I also feel that somebody, especially an ex, may be trying to get you to give them another chance. This person may be holding on to you and they're just wanting to work things out, or if they feel like you want to, if you're just having like a temporary breakup and you're on the fence about going back to that person, this person might try to pull out all the stops to keep you. Dating life, I don't feel like you're really into it. I really feel that you're over entertaining surface connections. I feel like you're just done with it. You're like, you know what? I don't really have time for this. So I feel like you're choosing to move on from dating for the time being, and maybe just focusing on yourself and your income or your job or something. But yeah, I feel like you don't want to entertain false connections. Now, it is possible that you're choosing to just be social or hang out with friends. But like the dating and romantic part, maybe you're not really feeling it right now. There's also someone who you don't fully trust, or who you don't want to get close to you. There could be someone that is showing you romantic interest, but you, like I said, you're being resistant towards them, and you might be ignoring their gestures. Yeah, it seems like you're just like, no. And also maybe your intuition is just telling you no. Yeah, I feel that you are more focused about your own self and your own happiness. Yeah. It's possible that somebody is playing hard to get, but I really feel like somebody is just really wanting to focus on themselves. All right, so let's move on to finances, career, deck number 2. All right, you have the World, the Page of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Five of Swords, Six of Coins. Overall energy, you have the Four of Wands. I'm sorry, that's Nine of Coins. Then you have the Seven of Coins, and you have the Hierophant. All right, so with the overall energies, you could be feeling like you're dealing with challenges when it comes to your career or finances, or blockages. It seems as if you have taken on some sort of responsibility. Maybe you just got a promotion, or maybe you didn't get a promotion, but it just kind of seems like it because you're taking on so much responsibility. And it seems like you're just trying to be patient, but maybe you're becoming frustrated. Or maybe you want that promotion and you've been asking for it, but it's so competitive. And, you know, you're trying to be patient, but at the same time, you know, there are frustrations. And it also looks like there could be, your situation could be becoming more uncomfortable because the universe is wanting you to change or to move from your comfort zone. So a lot of times I see, you know, fives as some sort of uncomfortable change. So especially if you've been seeing synchronicities of 5. Make sure you aren't fighting against what's meant to be, and maybe try to trust the process in regards to whatever is happening in your life. But, you know, the world is indicating that there's getting ready to be some sort of an ending or completion when it comes to your finances or career. Maybe it's time for you to move on from a company that you're with. Maybe you're needing to let go. Maybe you want it to be patient, or hold on, or give the company a chance to uplift you, and you're just kind of like maybe have run out of time, and it's time for you to go ahead and, you know, move on to the next chapter in your life. And it is possible that you could be starting in a new position. If you are starting a new job, to me this is indicating that it's like entry level or something. It's like having to learn all over again because you're a novice. But I do feel that you have like a valuable skill, or you have something valuable to contribute to a new company. Again, this is looking like you might feel burdened or overwhelmed with a lot of responsibilities. You could also find yourself being very busy. You also might feel like no matter how hard you work, you're being blocked or not seeing the results. Depending on your career field, like if there is something that you're trying to do, whether you're applying for some sort of new position or you want to move up in your current company, I still feel like there could be some sort of steep competition. And so maybe it's just very frustrating for you. But I do like how it looks as if it ends up with you finding your own lane instead of having to compete with the other, I started to say chicken heads. No. So I don't, maybe somebody from New York listening, but yeah, I kind of feel that you could end up finding your own lane, and or standing out as an individual, and so you don't have to be a part of the rat race or the competitive field because you found your own space. And then two, this is indicating that after some kind of blockages or frustrations that you will end up being financially stable or financially secure, at least to the point where you're able to take care of your necessities. And I also feel that, whatever this moment is with you dealing with a lot of patience is going to pay off. You're finally going to, see the results of your labor. I feel like somebody also has been trying to play by the rules. Someone is just like, okay, well, this is how you're supposed to, do things. This is how you move up. First, you start off on lettuce. Then you get to flip the burgers. And then, okay, that's, you know where I got that from. But it's like, it's just like these little stages that you're trying to play by the rules. And I think at some point, you will become too frustrated. You might be too big to fit into like a square peg. Like I'm just seeing like you as the world, and just being so above whatever it is that you're trying to shrink yourself into. And so maybe the universe is trying to tell you like, no, you are, and not a bigger than that as in like putting other people down, but it's just like, no, that's not for you. You are someone who is outside. You're not meant to fit in. So, it's meant for you to maybe be in your own lane, start your own lane, create your own lane. And so that may be a solution if you feel like you've been dealing with a lot of blockages, trying to conform into, the norm. So I also feel that you could potentially be doing some kind of travel, or maybe spirit has been trying to get you to relocate, like maybe career-wise, it would be better for you to move to a different location. Even just as a brief example, when I had an astrology reading, my astrologer didn't know that I had already moved, but when he went through my chart, he was saying that I would not have success in my hometown, home country. I wouldn't have success until I moved away from there. And that is exactly what happened. You know, as soon as I moved away from my place of birth, and he was saying it had to be far away. He was saying it had to be Southwest, and that's exactly what happened. But he didn't know I had already done that and had experienced success. So for some of you, maybe it is a need for you to move, maybe according to your chart, especially if you do study astrology. Yeah. You might feel beat up at times and blocked, but like I said, I feel like there's going to be some sort of a breakthrough for you ultimately. So yeah, it definitely could be time for you to part ways with a company that you're working for. It may be time for you to, move on to a new company, or maybe it's time for you to be an independent contractor or entrepreneur. There also could be a situation where you feel that a fire sign or a water sign has to do with you not being able to move up in your company. Maybe you feel like people are trying to hide you or suppress you or won't let you grow. And that could be true, but I really feel that it could be that's happening because it's time for you to let go or move on. I mean, there is a possibility that maybe someone at your company is going to leave, the person that was blocking you, and by them, leaving will make it possible for you to grow. It also looks like there could be some sort of financial opportunity being made to you, and maybe you're going to turn it down, or you want to turn it down. Maybe because you feel like either you feel like you're inadequate, like you don't have enough experience. You might turn something down because you think you don't know what you're doing. I would say try not to do that. Try to accept any financial opportunity that comes your way. I feel like there's room to grow, and something could potentially be your calling. I just keep, again, getting something about change. Changing and moving on. And then also, like I said, maybe it's not meant for you to take the traditional route when it comes to making your money. You're going to have to maybe think outside the box. So again, it's looking like you do end up accepting something and then maybe immediately feeling like, oh my God, I think I bit off more than I could chew. I don't know if I could do this. But I feel that you're being encouraged to keep fighting and not to let go or give up. And just when it feels the hardest, maybe when, that might be a sign that you're very close through to a breakthrough. I'm also seeing something about becoming part of a group or being invited to a certain group. It still might feel like an obligation or a little bit of a burden, though, by you becoming part of some sort of group. But you can do it. It's saying that you can do it. Like you have gained enough strength throughout the years with your knowledge, if it's something physical with that, but you can do this. You have the strength to carry or hold on to whatever this is that you're taking on. I do feel too like you want to work hard. But also your ego might want you to get recognition for your hard work. Now, also in regards to your birth chart, I feel like you're needing to look at where Saturn is, because Saturn could be telling you or showing you where the blockages are coming from, or showing you where the delays are coming from. So if you have Saturn in your third house, maybe there is some sort of blockage when it comes to communication. I don't know if you're needing to communicate more. Matter of fact, as per astrology, if you have Saturn in the third house, that is usually a strong indication of having to work for yourself. Saturn usually makes you work for yourself in the third house. The third house is the house of self-effort. And I guess like your willpower too, your drive and your will. And Saturn is going to, if it's placed there, it gives you that obligation where it's just like, no, it's going to be hard for you because you're meant to do something on your own. So it's like your willpower is being challenged by Saturn. So yeah, I think too, even if Saturn is aspecting your third house, that can put you in a position where you're destined to work for yourself. I don't want to say that for sure, but I believe Saturn's aspect on a third house can make you an entrepreneur or independent contractor. There also could be conflict, again, with communication. If there's something that you're holding back, I feel like you're needing to say it or be honest about it. Even if you are trying to hold your tongue back, I feel that at some point, something's going to force you to speak your mind. Something's going to force you to speak the uncomfortable truth, or to just be honest, even if it's like brutal or cutthroat. It also seems that you could potentially be in your own way with your insecurities. Also, if you suspect something, I just feel like you need to call something out. Like, say you are suspicious that your supervisor is intentionally holding you back. And you're just trying to be polite, or you're trying to be respectful. I kind of feel like at some point it's just going to come out. And I do feel like somebody maybe needs to be put on blast. And it's going to happen, even if it's unintentional. I feel like you can't be afraid to speak your mind. So it also feels like if you do start making the type of money that you want, like you're maybe being quiet about it, or you're not telling people. So I'm getting some kind of gatekeeping here. Somebody might be gatekeeping. You also may feel like you learned your lesson from a previous situation, and you're like, this time I'm gatekeeping. I'm not telling anybody about how I did this, or something. But you might find yourself holding back some sort of information. So also, if you are trying to do money spells, it seems like something maybe isn't quite working. I don't know. Also, make sure you know what you're doing when you do certain type of spell work. You also could be trying to do some sort of spell work to remove blockages. Yeah, I kind of feel though that if you've experienced some sort of betrayal in the past when it comes to career advancement or financial increases, like I feel like you're keeping something to yourself this time. Yeah. All right, so moving on to deck number 3, open messages, spiritual messages. All right, you have ego. And then you have 4 of Wands. You have transformation. You have 2 of Swords. And then you have Five of Swords, overall energy, the Emperor, release, and the Page of Swords. All right. So it feels like maybe after you went through some sort of an ending or transformation, like you had to grow up and become your own leader, your own boss. I feel like you are wanting to take your power back. You're wanting to sit on a throne and be in charge of your career, your destination. Like you want to be the one that says, you know, when something happens. So you want things to happen on your own terms. And it does seem like maybe there's going to be some sort of clash of egos happening. You could be competing with your shadow self. You could be at war with yourself, really. And it seems like you want to break the bondage of some sort of self-inflicted prison, self-induced prison, something. It's like maybe you did something to yourself, but it's like you're wanting to break free from that. Even if this is about another person, I still feel like that person is maybe a manifestation of a part of you that you need to free. So even if you decide that you are going to take your power back and break free from some sort of trap, or break free from some sort of oppressive relationship that you're in, that's still an indication that as within, so without. You're still breaking free from something that, you know, has been binding you within. And then two, like, something feels like it's being reiterated with you being released from something here. This is equivalent. This looks like it doesn't look like the star, but that is 10, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, it is coming off that way. Yeah. So I kind of feel like something is happening where you are going to receive some sort of abundance. This really looks like the Four of Wands, but that number doesn't match up to me. But it still looks like you're being set free or released and having a need to celebrate the fact that you're free from bondage. So if you feel like you are bound to a situation, bound to a contract or an agreement, bound to a relationship, bound to a living situation, I feel that you're going to be able to break free from it. And then two, like if you've been battling your own demons, and maybe having to, whatever your own demons are, it seems like you're going to be able to break free from that. And then it does seem like you're having to maybe rebuild. You're having to like maybe shatter the ego, and you're having like a new realization about the path that you're on or the path that you need to take. It just seems that certain things are going to be leveled out for you to see. And you also may not have realized something, but once you come to the realization or you become enlightened about what's been going on with you on a subconscious level, it does give you the ability to take control. Now, any hidden enemies you have, I feel like it's going to be revealed to you. It also could be revealed to you, you know, someone who could be blocking you or trying to block you. It also seems like you may be trying to start over, or like maybe you're getting like trying to wipe the slate clean. You're getting a clean slate on something. And it still seems like something gets in the way of you moving forward. Like you have a clean slate, but now you're still being blocked. Almost like, I don't know, let's say you cleaned up your credit and you're like, ooh, I have good credit now. Now maybe I can purchase a car, or I can get a home or some credit with a low interest rate. And then you're kind of hit with a catch-22 where it's like, yeah, your credit is clean now, but now you have no credit. We don't help people without credit either, or you still have to have a high interest rate, or we're still going to make it difficult for you. So it seems like you might still have a moment where you feel like, man, everything's a catch-22, or I can't catch, what is it? You can't catch a break. So yeah, it does still seem like there are some sort of invisible forces that are working against your progress. But I do feel that it could just be temporary. Now also, you just might need to clear your energy or your space. Yeah. This also says to me, though, that sometimes your ego is still an issue with your ego, or your pride keeps blocking you, preventing you from seeing or hearing something the way you need to. You keep hearing something wrong, or maybe you're only hearing what you want to hear, and something could be going over your head. If this involves another person, there could be, just like a clash of egos, ideas, like you guys aren't able to come to a happy medium, because you're both so strong-willed. You both want things to happen on your own terms. In a love situation, that can, cause some sort of a blockage, because people are wanting control. Yeah, so I just kind of feel like you might still have to deal with some sort of difficulties, whatever this is. So, again, this is talking about something maybe coming to an end, or maybe there's going to be a release of something. Yeah. I feel too like If you've been under an illusion or a spell, I kind of feel like it's wearing off, or like maybe you're able to break free from this spell or this illusion. But I also feel that there is someone who is trying to keep you under a spell. Someone does not want you to see or have clarity or have confidence. This can also be family. It's possible that you're needing to separate or part ways from family if they're holding you back. Maybe you feel like your family is like crabs in a barrel, just pulling you down, pulling you down. This can also be speaking about something political as well, where it's like people are wanting to fight someone who is in charge, or under some sort of dictatorship, or maybe it's kind of like we the people. And it does seem like there are moments where maybe people feel like they are breaking free, but then they keep getting blockages or pushed back into a spell, or I just kind of feel like maybe you're constantly having to fight with ending illusions, whether it's being brought on by yourself or outside forces. Now, I also feel that maybe if you are challenged with some kind of temptation or bad habits, like it keeps being thrown in your face, just some form of sabotage. So it does indicate a moment of freedom, liberation. I feel like you're going to have some sort of a proud moment, or you're like patting yourself on the back about something. It seems like you're happy that you did something on your own. You also might be happy that you stood up for yourself, or that you stood up for somebody else, just for standing in your truth. Yeah, something is very freeing or liberating. If you have been trying to hold back from saying something, I feel like eventually you're going to speak your mind. Also, if you were acting or you felt inadequate, like I said, something happens where your courage is restored and you feel very strong or confident in yourself and the things that you're wanting to do and the choices that you're making. You also might be glad that you decided to challenge the law. Now with this transformation, it does seem like something is happening where maybe you feel like your progress gets stopped. Or the fact that you have to start from scratch or start over. But I see you picking yourself back up after some sort of initial failure or disappointment. It's not going to stop you. In fact, it might make you more determined. It also looks like a reunion or reconciliation. Something is being restored. Anything that fell apart, maybe especially like a friendship, something that fell apart, I feel like is going to be restored. I feel like you also don't have to do something alone or by yourself. Like just when you feel like you don't want to do something over again, or yeah, like if you feel like you don't want to do something over again, something was so hard to build up, I feel like other people are going to step in and help you rebuild. So you also could be indecisive about something. Like maybe you're at a crossroads and you feel confused about what you should do. It seems like you're going back and forth with something, or you can't decide, or maybe because you can't decide something, you're like, I just want the universe to decide for me. Yeah, it's something you seem like you can't figure out. Also, if money or finances are playing a role in regards to some sort of important decision you need to make, like you want to do something, but maybe your finances aren't together, that also could be some sort of a blockage. You also might end up taking some sort of financial risk because you feel like the reward is going to pay off. Like maybe you're at a job you don't like, but you're like torn as to whether you should keep it or let it go. You might decide that you're going to let something go. You're just kind of like, F it, I'm going to take this risk and let this job go because I have faith that I'm going to find something better. Or maybe you're trying to juggle two jobs and you have to let one go. But it does seem like that could be pertaining to something regarding career or finances that you're torn about. Now, also in a love situation, I feel that there is someone who wants to talk or communicate with you, but they're too prideful to make the first move or to initiate communication. And you probably also feel like, well, I'm not going to reach out, but I'm open to communicating. So I kind of feel like at some point, maybe it kind of feels this is more of the universe putting two people together in a position where now they have to communicate with one another. And usually it is some sort of, you know, magical moment, or it just seems like an unlikely moment that happens. So, like, maybe you had already made up in your mind that you would never reach out to so and so again. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're out and about, and here they are. You guys cross paths. And then you kind of are in this awkward situation where it's like, well, I don't want to just walk past this person. And they feel the same way. So you guys just kind of like talk, but there's kind of like a barrier between the two of you. So this seems like this is talking about some sort of weird energy in a love situation where two people who still love each other or care about each other, but have been keeping distant from each other on purpose, are going to one day be put in a situation where, you know, you have to talk. And it's kind of like the universe is just like, okay, we're going to pick up the two children and put them in the same room and let them work it out, you know. And it does seem like that could happen. It feels romantic, but really anybody that you have beef with, it seems like the universe is making you have to work it out. And I feel like it's also kind of good for the ego. Yeah, you're gonna learn something from it. Something in regards to humility, maybe. Yeah. Someone also may decide to share a secret with you, or maybe there has been someone was distant because they couldn't share their secret, but now they're opening up. Also, anybody who was having trust issues, including yourself, I just kind of feel like they're dissipating. Someone is learning how to trust again. Somebody also may have mishandled your money in the past and you were upset about it, for them doing that, but then maybe they apologize or try to make up for it as well. All right, so those are the messages I get for you guys. Hopefully some things have resonated. Thank you guys for watching. Sending love and grace.